What's up, bitches? Welcome to another episode of our soundtrack review. Since we're still in soundtrack month, it's your boy Reg in the building. And yes, we're not live. This is the pre-recorded version, so I don't want to hear anybody saying, "Are you guys live? Are you guys live?" When no, we're not live. I
No,
got my homeboy Try with me.
nope.
You know,
Yep.
yeah. If you guys have not checked him out, he just dropped a dope ass 5 hour long video based on mixtapes. I have not seen all of that shit yet.
Jesus
You know
Christ.
what I'm saying?
Mm.
Oh Lord have mercy. Yeah, shout out to your homeboy by the way. Is it Rocka or Baka?
Rocker
I don't want to
Bash.
get his name wrong.
Yeah,
Rocka
it's
Bash. Shout out to your
Rocker.
homeboy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna talk about Marvin Gaye with Trouble Man soundtrack. This album came out in December 8th, 1972 on Motown Records. You know what I'm saying? It only came out with one single, which was Trouble Man. Um, no guest appearances on this album. You know what I'm saying? You know, by this point, you guys should know who Marvin Gaye is. I don't have to talk about if you don't know who Marvin Gaye is and you're black. I don't know what to tell you. Stop listening to
Right.
that sexy red. Stop listening to that sexy red, Ice Spice or whatever they call themselves these days. All right,
Wow.
but few people heard of the Trouble Man movie and stuff like that too. You know, I've never actually seen Trouble Man. Have you seen Trouble Man before?
Never seen it.
Never seen it? Okay. So yeah, so it's a
Never
rare
seen it.
black exploitation movie. It might be on Tubi. I don't know. No, when they're not putting out their trash movies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I did tell y'all I was gonna actually get this album before I reviewed it, but I lied. I lie sometimes, so forgive me for that. So let's talk about Showman. So you know,
Boy.
by the time he did this album, he had already came out with What's Going On the year before, which that's his classic album, soul classic and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And 1972 was a busy year because he was also supposed to have came out with an album called You're the Man, which that album actually got shelved back in the 70s because the power to be at Motown deemed it too political and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't actually get re-released. I want to say 20, like in the early 20 teens. I forgot the year it was. Um, that's an album I'm gonna wait to have in my collection before I actually talk about that. So stay tuned on that. Unless somebody throws a donation, you know what I'm saying? So with y'all cheap bastards and shit like that. Yeah. So excuse me.
Right.
So you know 1972, 1971,
You
1972,
just keep
that was the
listening.
years
That's
of
all.
right. It was just the year for the black exploitation soundtracks and everything like that. You already had Isaac Hayes with Shaft, Curtis Mayfield with Superfly, and around this time too, Marvin Gaye, he had just gotten a new $1 million deal with Motown for more creative control. So he wanted to actually get into the black exploitation movies because you know at this time, black exploitation was like the popular thing when it comes to like the black movies and everything. The movie starred Robert Hooks, Robert Hooks and everything. He also had Paul Whitfield too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I've not seen. One day I'm actually gonna check out the movie. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those old '70s black exploitation movies are kind of hard to come by these days. So you know, if anybody can help a motherfucker out, I would love that. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so this is also around the time Motown relocated to Los Angeles and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that caused like a lot of Motowners, like the Four Tops, Martha Weaves. They stayed in Detroit, but you had people like the Jackson Five, Diana Ross. They went to California and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so when it comes to this soundtrack, it's mostly just an instrumental scores and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? He does a few singing here and there. And yeah, I mean, it's like a very, very, very experimental album to say the least. You know what I'm saying? So let me pull up my notes because, like I said before, I'm not trying to be too long with this because I gotta get ready for a wedding and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So excuse me. So yeah, so this is the album cover right here. You have Marvin Gaye just chilling. You probably have seen that picture of Marvin Gaye in the past, and then you have like the poster for that Trouble Man album too. You know what I'm saying? So really dig it. So yeah, um, a lot of these songs have also been sampled a couple times too. When it comes to other motherfuckers and shit like that. So yeah, that's one thing I love about looking back at some of this shit when you just realize some shit sampled and you don't even realize it's sampled and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this album has 13 tracks. Let's get started with the main theme from Trouble Man, which I feel like it says main theme from Trouble Man 2 because that they split the theme song in two parts. I guess you know what I'm saying. Um, this song right here was pretty good, very smooth, nice way to kick off the album and everything like that. I love like the horns and everything and the drums. It just gave it a more cinematic, darker look. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely fuck with this thing.
Yeah, it was cool. I like it. I like the instrumentation for it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely like fits the early '70s. The crime early '70s and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So definitely love this one. Track number two, we got T plays it cool. Again, another joint right here that I fucking love, very smooth joint. You know what I'm saying? This song has been sampled a couple of times. All of my Gangstar fans, y'all should know about this joint right here. It's been sampled for that. I know DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince use this as a sample as well too. You know what I'm saying? So this one, it's a very popular song from this album. Definitely love the instrumentation and everything like that. So yeah,
Yeah, this was this. I think Ghost was used this one.
yes, I
This
forgot. I
beat,
forgot about that.
that was a dope beat and the saxophones and the little funky track with horn arrangements. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what I was thinking about Ghostface. Like, he used that for Iron Man, right?
Nah, I think it was for this was for another album, like one of the latter ones. I want to say.
Got you. Yeah, it definitely is a familiar sample, so I would definitely give you
Yeah.
that. All right. Excuse me. Next track, Poor Abby Walsh. You know what I'm saying? My favorite track off this album, it definitely kind of gives you that coming home late at night, have pussy waiting for you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can kind of see Isaac Hayes. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Isaac Hayes' Ellie's Love theme from the Shaft
Right.
soundtrack. It kind of reminds me of that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Which that's actually my favorite track off Shaft 2, believe it or not. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I definitely love this one right here. Um, yeah, man. Very 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 dope score. I kind of want to see the movie to see how it was used in the scene and shit like that too, because I feel like I'm missing out on a good movie and shit.
Right. Yeah, it was good. You know, you had the saxophones and the pianos and Marvin. He didn't sing a lot on this soundtrack.
He did it, and we'll definitely talk about that. We'll definitely. And honestly, I'm kind of not saying I don't like Marvin singing, but I kind of feel like a lot of the instrumentation, a lot of the instrumental songs on this album
Yeah.
definitely fits the movie. Because sometimes with some of these soundtracks, they try to force a song, or some songs might not originally want to be part of the soundtrack. Like what we witnessed yesterday, when we did the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack as well too. You know what I'm saying? How some of those songs would not, they not really fit the movie and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I think Try is having mic issues. But, but yeah, poor Abby Walsh, man. That's definitely a very dope track right there as well too. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I first started producing and sampling. That was like one of the first songs I actually sampled myself. I'm not gonna play the beat because for one, the beat I used it for was kind of trash. I'll be the first to admit that. And two, a lot of my beats kind of got wiped away when I switched laptops and shit too. So yeah. Mm. Excuse me. Okay, try is having mic issues. I am going to go on to the next track. Track number four, the break in, police shoot big. Very fast paced song right here. I definitely love the arrangements of this track right here. You know, I don't really I don't really want to compare a lot when it comes to this review, but it definitely sounds like something Curtis Mayfield would have done, especially for like the Superfly soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? It definitely has. It kind of reminds me of the Junkie Chase. If you guys remember that track, Junkie Chase. Whew, how the fast pace and everything like that. You feel like you're actually running away from somebody and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a favorite song of mine. Again, too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, I might give him some time just in case he does pop back up. Uh, and you know the thing about this album, because you know Marvin Gaye has always wanted to be like a jazz artist. You know what I'm saying? He definitely added like a lot of jazz influences when it comes to this album as well too. And that's one thing I loved about the era, like the '70s Marvin Gaye, because he really like when you get to like Hear My Dear, which in my opinion the greatest R&B album ever recorded and written. Period. Like he definitely added like a lot of Sinatra touches, jazz touches, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to handle something outside. We're
All
back.
good. Yep.
Yeah. I was just talking about the break-in song, "Police Shoot Big." Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just talking about the "Police Shoot Big" song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was that was cool. It was alright.
Does it kind of remind you of that Curtis Mayfield song, "The Junkie Chase" from the Superfly soundtrack?
No, not to me. I
Not to
didn't
you.
get that vibe from.
Uh, I guess I was just saying that because of the fast-paced rhythms that it was using and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you know how a lot of those black exploitation movies, you gotta have that chase scene with that da 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 da, where they just go
Yeah.
crazy with the instrumentation and everything like that. Hmm. All right. So next song we got is called Cleo's Apartment. Oh my god. You're talking about one of my favorite songs off this album right here. Um so like I said before, Marvin does like a lot of rare singing on this album, but with this one, he does like he was just humming throughout the song, gives it a more haunting portrayal and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I feel like Marvin does not really get the credit for. Like when it comes to like his vocal harmonizing and how he arranges his vocals, especially when he like does his own background vocals. Like the song Distant Lover from the Let's Get It On album. It's a perfect example and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I feel like he definitely even Smokey Robinson himself, even Smokey Robinson himself has said that a couple of times about Marvin Gaye and shit too. So definitely love that song Cleo's Apartment. Again, Try's having some issues right now. Great. And I did say streaming always causing some issues. I did say that. Okay. But yeah, this is definitely a favorite of mine as well too. Alright, track number 6, Trouble Man, which is the only single from this album. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like the autobiography of the title character, Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? Very dope song in my personal opinion. It's kind of crazy too because when it comes to this song right here, he also like gave a few touches of himself, like added some touches from his original life and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I love the line where he says, "I come up hard, baby. I've been for real. Gonna keep moving. Gonna go to town. I come up hard. I come up getting down. There's only three things that's for sure: taxes, death, and trouble." That's a very ill line right there too. You know what I'm saying? I love that line and shit. You know, and I love the line where he says, "Where's that shit at?" I'm checking troubles. Like he said, I come up hard, but now I'm cool. I didn't make it. Baby playing by the rules. I come up hard, baby. Now I'm fine. You know, I love the way he was just singing the song and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, Trouble Man, definitely your favorite song. I feel like this was like his smooth answer track to the Shaft song from Isaac Hayes. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely another favorite of mine.
Yeah, that was good. Definitely enjoyed it. You had a smooth groove and bass line. Marvin sang on this for once, you know.
Yeah, actually singing, not just humming and shit.
Right. He actually sang on this.
Oh, did you give your thoughts on Cleo's Apartment, by the way?
Yeah, that was cool. It had a nice slow beat, nice pianos.
Definitely. All right. Next song we got is the theme from Trouble Man's soundtrack version. Um, whenever I think of that this arrangement, I always think of whenever he performed "Distant Lover" live, and I'm mostly specifically talking when he started doing that when he dropped the 1974 live album. And everybody remembers that live album for that Distant Lover because it starts off that dun 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 dun, dun distant love, and then the whole crowd would just go crazy and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I love the studio version of Distant Lover. Don't get me wrong, but once I heard that live version, the live version of 1974 and the live at the London Palladium from 1977, I just always listen to those versions more because Marvin was just going in vocally and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely a very dope instrumental right here.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked the beat for it. The beat was dope.
Yeah, definitely a very smooth beat. Next track we got is T stands for trouble. This is another instrumental, right? Instrumental song right here. Again, this is another song that's been sampled so many times. Most specifically, Ice Cube used it for "Who's the Mac." You know what I'm saying? Brand Nubian used it for "Meeting of the 5%." It's been used so many times. I don't want to say everybody. I'm just saying those are like the best known ones, if you ask me. But yeah, I like this one. It's pretty dope.
This is like some 70s crime theme shit. I love the pianos and the guitars, the beat, everything about it was sounding like the 70s, crime saga.
Right,
You know,
definitely. Um, Next song we got is "Main Theme" from Trouble Man. This is like pretty much a longer version of the theme song when it comes to the first song. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. I mean, if you like the first one, you like this one. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, it has nice saxophones on it, nice pianos. It was good.
Definitely. Then we got "Life Is a Gamble." He sings for like 2 seconds on this track. But it's still a very, very, very dope track right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like this is like the part where it's like the climax and everything's falling apart. You know, you gotta take your risk. What you gotta do, you gotta do. So yeah, very, very, very dope.
Yeah, you had Marvin ad libbing again. It was a ballad, nice saxophone play.
Definitely. All right. Then we got "Deep in It." Pretty solid instrumental as well too. You know what I'm saying? Not too much I can really say about it. Pretty solid.
Yeah, that was cool. A nice beat.
Yes. All right. Next song, "Don't Mess with Mr. T." Love this song right here. Love this instrumental. Yeah, it's just like one of those songs. It's like I guess this nigga Chalky thought Mr. T was some little bitch or some shit like that. So, you know, so people just warning him, don't mess with Mr. T. Mr. T would cancel that ass like Christmas time. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what you can get from that song. And bless you. Yeah, that's pretty much what you can get from that song right here.
Yeah, that was good. It has finger snaps and nice smooth groove, nice horns.
Right. And the last song is called "There Goes Mr. T." Um, this one right here was pretty solid track as well too. You know what I'm saying? Nice way to end up this album. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, and a nice ending to the album.
Definitely agree with you on that. All right, so overall, this is a very, very, very dope soundtrack when it comes to Marvin Gaye. I feel like it was a risk for him to do this. Whenever I whenever I think of like the trinity of black exploitation soundtracks, it's like Isaac Hayes' Shaft, Curtis Mayfield's Superfly, and then this one with Trouble Man. And I feel like with this album being as successful as it was, a lot of more R&B cats over the years want to do the soundtracks like movies like that. You know, you had James Brown with the Black Caesar soundtrack, which I feel like that was a very dope album. Willie Hutch with the Mac. Isaac Hayes done did how many soundtracks for black exploitation movies, which we're going to actually talk about that one of them pretty soon too. So this was definitely a go-to. It just definitely showed the artist's integrity, his creative vision. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5. Classic album all the way throughout.
I thought it was cool. It's a '70s instrumental album mostly. Marvin didn't sing too much on it. I'll give it 3 mics.
Respect. All right. So sorry this review was not as long as we thought it would be. I mean, it's mostly instrumentals and Marvin just ad libbing and arranging himself. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So appreciate this as usual. I'm actually end this off right here because I gotta get my shit together. But Sunday, I don't know what time Sunday yet. I'm working on the schedule tonight. It's gonna be Roxy and Shantae with the bitches back. You know what I'm saying? We're still on the cold, chilling vein of things. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was gonna do the double review, but I'm doing too many double reviews for these cold, chilling labels. You know what I'm saying? And the Bad Sister album, I'm not gonna hold you. That shit sucks. I'm gonna be real with you. That shit sucks. So I saved y'all a review. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But the bitch is back. It's a much better album, but we'll see how it fares well with the other Coachella albums and shit like that too. Anything you want to say before we sign out?
Nope.
I appreciate this try as usual. Sorry if I came a little late and shit like that.
All
I
good.
have a lot going on this week, but
Cool.
yeah. Everybody, make sure y'all stay blessed and make sure you keep your publishing. Peace.
Right. Peace.